I think it's finally stopped raining. This is like day number 3 to where I haven't really been anywhere just because of the rain. Well, the few times I've tried to go outside, it might not be raining for just a second, or it may be drizzling like in my last video, and then the bottom falls out. It's been pretty consistent for, like I said, 3 days. But fortunately, you know, no damage was done around here. One of my subscribers actually sent me pictures of this property after a monsoon that hit here a few years ago. It messed up the roof and all kind of stuff. So I'm grateful, grateful that it didn't hit here. It actually hit up north of here. It wasn't on this island. We just caught all the rain. I tell you what, it feels good just to get on the motorbike and take a drive. Oh, and if you're traveling, at least in Dumaguete, Sunday is the way to do it, man. Not only is everybody in church, that's when most people have off of work. So the traffic is just almost non-existent. Well, other than near the Robinsons in downtown, other than that, it's pretty clear. Man, it feels good out here too. This is my spot. This is one of my favorite things about Dumaguete. But anyway, today's video, what I was going to say is that, well, I'm going to say a lot, I'm sure. but what I was going to talk about is, hey, good morning. I was going to talk about, hey, good morning. You know, you find this out going through life. I'm sure a lot of you realize this and know this. It's hard to do, but they said a person's biggest strength is knowing their weaknesses. And, you know, I have many. But I'm becoming more aware of some of them. And, you know, the best thing to do, I think, whenever we make a mistake is just to swallow your pride and eat a little crow. And I've made a mistake. The membership thing, after this first live, I'm going to cancel all the memberships. I'm going to try to do something special for the people who did get a membership, because apparently I seen it yesterday and I had this thought and I was like, well, let me sleep on it. I knew I wanted to cancel it, but I didn't know how to go about canceling it without, you know, upsetting people. But I don't think there's a way to do it without upsetting somebody. And there was only like 26 subscribers at the time I woke up this morning, and there's 86, which is great. I really appreciate that. And I've actually there's a way I can download all of the people that did subscribe. And I'm still going to do one live for just the members only, because I said I would, just to keep my word. But it just don't feel right. It don't feel right because, you know, a lot of people, you know, can't even afford the basic membership these days. And it is a bad thing, but at the same time, I don't feel right doing it. The only thing that really got me, honestly, it wasn't the greed, because it's not a lot of money. It really isn't. Like, you can do the math on it. It's not. YouTube, the videos and the commercials pay well enough. The memberships, the only thing that got me is YouTube kept sending me emails about the things that you can do for your members, like all of the different benefits that came with it and the little things that you get to do. And what really got me, man, was just I was sitting there bored, and I've been playing with, I don't know if any of you have ever played with Canva, but it's like this where you can change the size of a picture. And I don't know anything about this stuff, but it's fun. Look, I go all the way back to Crayola art. Like when the computers first, well, they didn't just first come out, but whenever somebody in my family, which was one aunt and uncle, had a computer and they had Crayola art. I guess it came on the computer, or maybe they bought the CD or whatever it was for the Crayola art. And I remember playing with that. And Canva's kind of like that, where you can make these all kind of designs. And I played with CAD programs before that were, you know, more in depth and a lot more difficult. But I was taught, you know, I had somebody over my shoulder teach me how to do it. But Canva's pretty user-friendly. And when YouTube was sending me the emails, what got me was they said you can make your own emojis. And I was like, wait, I can make my own emojis? And I thought that once I made my own emojis, anybody who went into my comment section would be able to use those emojis. But that ain't the case. It was for members only. And I realized that after the fact. And as far as setting up the members only thing, once you, like, YouTube will send you emails, and at the bottom of the email it says join membership program now, and when you click the button, it's like they have their own AI set up to say, this is what would be good for your channel type deal. And it tells you the pricing and everything. And instead of changing anything, I just clicked, okay. And that's what happened. And from there, I went and started making emojis. And I only ended up making 4 of them, but they also let you make your, the little insignia that way when you could see people in your comments, like on a regular video, you could see who was a subscriber and who wasn't. And I played with that thing for a day, maybe a day and a half of making those things and just had fun with it. But I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into what kind of message that would send to my regular subscribers that's been with me since the beginning, especially the Filipinos. Like the Filipinos, 79 pesos is a lot of money, That's the bottom tier. I think it's $2.99 in USD, and it comes out to be like 79 pesos here. And after, as soon as I seen that, I had this feeling like, oh man, this might not be a good idea. And I thought I was stuck in it. So literally it's been keeping me up, like worrying about it, honestly. So I'm getting rid of it. And to the 86, hopefully it ain't more than 86, because I'm keeping the memberships on there until today is Sunday in the Philippines. It is still Saturday night in the West. But I'm keeping it on there until I do the live for members only, because I said I would. And hopefully enough people watch this video and don't sign up. Don't sign up, because I've been chatting with YouTube customer service, and asking them, is there a way, like, if I cancel it because it hasn't been a month, does everyone just get their money back? And I think that's how it works, but I'm not positive. It's kind of like an AI generated answer. And it basically just states that, once I cancel, it can't be undone, and the money will no longer be withdrawn from the... Hey, how's it going? Little kids just ran up and asked me if I wanted a girlfriend. Trying to avoid that too. That's another thing I feel like I've made a mistake about. Well, not really a mistake. I don't really. April and I are really good friends. She's a grown woman. She's got her stuff together. She's got a job. She's, got a lot of responsibilities that is outside of me and her hanging out. So she's totally understandable, and I respect that. But at the same time, you know how it is. You get caught up, and next thing you know, you're kind of in a relationship, and I'm not ready for that just yet. So we've talked about that, and that's not, I'm not in a relationship. And not that kind of relationship. Good friends, yes. Am I willing to help her out? Yes. Is she willing to help me out? Yes. That's about as far as it goes, which is great. Like I said, because she's got more on her plate than I do. And when you come over here, you're most of the time, if you do meet a girl, you're not only, if you start dating her serious, you're not just dating her, you're dating the entire family and everything that comes with it. And if they have, children by another man, a lot of times their family is intermingled in there. So it's a lot. It's a lot to take home. So keep that in mind. I'm in there editing my video, and I realized I had some more I wanted to say. And this one's for my fellas. Well, I guess the ladies too. If you've been in a long marriage and it didn't go so well, things change. Like, things change in your mind and what you're looking for, especially at least for me. I can only speak for myself, but it seems to be true for a lot of the guys that I talk to over here, a lot of the expats. And there's some guys over here with some serious cash, man. Even though this is you can live a higher standard of living on a much lower cost, you'd be amazed at how many people that have plenty of money to survive anywhere in the world, and they still choose the Philippines. And it's for obvious reasons. There just seems to be an abundance of better people. And not necessarily, I shouldn't say, I mean, there's good people everywhere, but they're just literally, it's more of them in a crowd, Like, you go a lot of places, this is my experience, and everybody has different experiences in different places. But, when I was growing up, at least 6 out of 10 people were pretty decent people. You know, they would at least, you could leave your door unlocked and things like that. And it was that way for a long time, but over the years it changed. And for a long time I was in denial, thinking that, you know, nothing's changed, everything's still the same. You know, and I didn't really worry about it, and I still don't, I never did, but I see little things that's happening, like in areas that you wouldn't think that it would happen. And it's just getting more and more prevalent, and it's like ignored. And it's from the same people that it always is, no matter what you want to say. I mean, people wear who they are in the West like a badge of honor, whether it's the way they dress or their demeanor or whatever it may be. You know what a bad scene or a dangerous environment looks like, no matter what you want to pretend. But what I wanted to say is, it's hard to stay single in the Philippines. It's literally difficult to stay single over here. And the reason why is because as men, especially Western men, we're not used to getting this kind of attention, man. The attention that you get over here is overwhelming. It's like very nice. I mean, it feels good, but at the same time, it's different. Different, to say the least, of what we're accustomed to. You know, if I was in my hometown of Winston-Salem, I could go out and, you know, put on my cologne, smell as good as I want to, do some push-ups, make myself look decent, you know. And I wouldn't nobody give me the time of day. No one. Nobody that, you know, I would probably be interested in. Over here, that's different. And, you know, it is for various reasons. I mean, obviously, if you're over here, they think all of us are Bill Gates, and that's the truth. You know, we're far from that. There ain't many Bill Gates in the world, but that's how they see us, regardless. And because of that, you get a lot of attention for that reason. And regardless of what the reason is, it feels good, you know? You'd be a liar to say that it doesn't. But now I understand how women can be a lot more picky in the West, as far as, like, you know, they have their standards, which is good. It's good to have standards. But for a long time, it's as if men weren't allowed to have standards. If a man has standards, it's a bad thing. If a woman has standards, it's like, you know, high five, you go girl type stuff. Now that I see, you know, the benefits to that, you can be picky over here. You can be as picky as you want to be, honestly. I mean, but I think it's best, at least for me, to take my time. And anybody coming over here, I would advise that. Even if you're meeting someone online, don't make any promises, because there's no way to know who that person is until you spend some time with them, you know? And they may be great people, but if the communication is off, it's just off. It's kind of like most of you that watch my channel are either retired because you were a hard worker, or you're still a hard worker and you're at a job most of the time. And I like that. I like that that's my people. But because of that, just take into consideration what I'm about to say. Even in a work environment or a school environment or any environment where there's a large number of people, it don't even have to be a super large number of people. If there's 6 people, you're gonna pair up with 1, 2, maybe 3, if you're lucky, of those people, and the camaraderie is just there. There's a little bit of magic to the conversation. Whether it's with guys, it's usually just talking junk, you know. But it's like rapid fire talking junk. No one misses a beat. Whenever you find those your people, and whoever your people are, you kind of understand what I'm saying. You can have 10 conversations throughout the workday or throughout whatever time period, golf course, riding dirt bikes or camping, whatever it may be you're doing. Especially with guys. I can't say this for women, because I only know one girl, and she's a good friend of mine. I've known her since the 4th grade, who can keep up with that kind of conversation to where it jumps around from everything from politics to the different tensile strength of metal, you know, anything. What do you say, John?
done.
You just getting home?
Yeah. Bought a bunch of drugs for my cold.
Hey, this is the place to do it.
Yeah.
Was it cheap?
Oh, yeah, it's cheap. Dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap. That's good. So the medicines are cheap. They didn't need no prescriptions?
No. Just walk in. I got a Fleming cough. Here you go. It's like 30 pesos and I got like 10 pills. It's like
Awesome.
50 cents.
Can't beat that. Okay, so I got it from first-hand source. He just went and spent 30. He walked into the pharmacy and said he had some phlegm, and they didn't just give him cough syrup. They prescribed him something right there on the spot for 30 pesos. That's less than $1. But anyway, being picky with who your partner is going to be, because at my age, I'm 50 years old. This could be, if I find the right one, this could be the one, to take it out the door with. So I feel like I have a right to be picky, even though most of us, men especially, starting in high school, you kind of just, you accept the girl that accepts you. At least that was the case for me. And I did love her, and she loved me and all that, and I had many girls before her. But she was the one that accepted me the most and made me feel like I was loved. Over here, you're going to get that in abundance. And it almost feels wrong to be picky because of the way that we were trained, from childhood growing up. And, even my mother, she watches my video. Sorry, Mom, I'm just telling what I think about it. But at this age, I think that as men, or anybody, a man or a woman, I feel like you deserve to be picky, especially if you're okay with being alone. If I ride this thing out to the end and I never find someone to partner up with, so be it. At this point, it's not a bad deal. I love my spot. I'm sorry for the pacing, but this is just how I talk. And, my things are the way that I like my things. You guys can see I'm kind of neat. I'm kind of a clean freak. And that's my mom's fault too. But I can do it all on my own. Literally, a woman cannot provide me anything on earth except for intimacy and attention. I was thinking about that on the motorbike ride over back home. What is it that I would want from a woman? And honestly, that's it. There's nothing else that she can provide me with. That camaraderie that two people have, even between, two guys or two women or, a family member, there's camaraderie, and there's good camaraderie, and then there's lack thereof. And I think that's most important. I mean, of course, sexual intimacy, but I don't know about you guys, but, that's a small portion of the day. It's not like there should be more time, joking around, laughing, speaking, getting to know each other, and talking about things you want to do or things like. There's going to be more time doing that than sexual intimacy. That's just the facts of life, regardless of how much we enjoy it and how fun it is, it still just isn't going to take up a whole. Even if you're a Romeo with a lot of foreplay, there's 24 hours in a day. I don't know about you guys, but anymore. a long run, 45 minutes, good God, that's a dang marathon to me now. It just is what it is. I might have just lost a few potential girlfriends from that one, but hey, it is what it is. Point is, I'm just being honest, trying to be best I can. As you can see, I don't mind eating a little crow. I know when I'm wrong, but this one, as far as the relationship thing goes, it's your life, It's what you hold dear, or you should, or we should. Not saying not to take no risk, but you have to at least be willing to understand that it is a risk. If you have the ability, and Western ladies, if you guys are listening to this, you need to hear this one very, very close, because Western men are leaving for a reason. And I'm about to tell you the reason why. We don't get attention over there. It's like, and once you peek behind the veil of what seems to be the truth, you can't see women the same way no more. Once you, like for me, and some of you guys watching may feel the same way. Let me know in the comments below. But it seems as if it's a possibility that maybe men have never been important to women for any other reason than the sole purpose of providing. And that goes for providing, monetary gain, protection, whatever that providing is, that's it. It's hard for me to believe now that we've ever been truly loved. And even if I'm wrong, maybe I'm scarred, maybe, maybe, I don't know, maybe I need a shrink, I don't know, but it just, because I believe that in my mind, I can't help but like see it for what I believe it to be. Like, okay, all right, here's the deal. It's not real love. How well will she at least pretend to care for me? If I provide, how good is her acting skills? And that's just what it seems like, because I've seen it too many times. Not only has it happened to me, to where somebody, you're willing to take your heart out of your chest to give them just a few more moments of life, to find out that person wouldn't, if something happened to you and you were sick and in the hospital, would they take care of you? And unfortunately, it seems as if the generation from my generation, Gen X, on down to the newer generations, that ain't the case. Like my mom's generation and you guys' mom's generation or your grandmother's generations, those were some true women. They're gonna ride or die regardless, good, bad, or ugly. And we see that. And I think most of us as Gen Xers, we went after that. We thought that that's just the way it was, We thought that we were supposed to be ready to give our lives at any moment, provide the best that we can, and that was, ride it out to the door. The generations up under us have seen that ain't the case. So I think we're the last men standing to where, we still have some of those beliefs hanging, and I do too. I still like to hang on to the thought of, well, maybe there's some love left for men from women, but over here it's more likely. I can tell you that. Over here it's definitely more likely than it is in the West, because if you think about it, I seen this on a podcast, I think, but it is true. I got to looking at it when I was flipping through Netflix. I told y'all about my travel router so I can watch Netflix like I'm in the US. But anyway, I'm flipping through there, right? And you know how it's got a section that's like romance section or whatever. So I'm looking at it, and as I'm going, I'm not trying to find a romance movie. It just shows you 4 titles as you're scrolling down. And I look at the titles, and I think I've seen all 4 of them, but every one of them, it's true. Every romance movie that I know of, and I'm sure that there's going to be some women that'll say, what about this movie? I don't know of a movie that is a romance movie that the premise of the movie is a woman leaving some man because he's a piece of shit, no good, and she cheats on that man with the new lover of the movie, the romance, and the movie goes off and they supposedly live happy ever after. But that's every romance movie. Every romance movie, the woman is either married in a bad relationship and then leaves that man for a new man that she met at work, or whatever it is. He's always a billionaire. He's always some great thing, And it's almost as if it has brainwashed women into believing like, well, keep your options open because, Brad Pitt's rolling up any minute, And it ain't the case. But because of that, I believe it's like warped a lot of minds, including the men like myself. It's kind of made us put our guard up. And, you can only take everything on social media with a grain of salt, like I've said before, but I've seen the men's movement, and men don't. men typically don't have movements that aren't for real. Like women have these movements, and I'm not saying they're not for real, but they're short-lived. Men kind of suck everything in and bottle it all up, but when it comes out, we destroy nations and take over continents. That's just how it's always been. It's in our nature, and I don't think women realize how serious that men going their own way movement is. I don't think that they realize like the younger guys, and I know it firsthand because I have direct contact with a lot of young men. they're more concerned with video games than they are women. They don't even want to they're not even looking to attempt to find a woman. Like, it doesn't even cross their mind anymore, because they've watched their moms. They've watched their Gen X moms tell them one thing, like, oh, you need to be this way, be this kind of man. But that's not the man that she goes after. And they see this, you know? And so they've learned, like, okay, no matter what a woman says that she wants, that's not who her boyfriends are. That's not who lays in her bed. Anyway, this is just a rant to go with the other rant, and that's it. Back to the regular video. But anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video. It's not going to be a very long one today, because it's been weighing on my mind, and I'm not happy with the membership thing. And you know what? It's honestly a hassle. It's not worth the money anyway. I am going to do the live, and if I get the hang of it and I like it, I'll probably do many lives in the future. For everybody, for anybody that wants to join, because I've been doing a lot of research on it, and I realized that if you have bad actors in the crowd, you can kick them and where they can't get back in. And what I'll need, apparently, is like a moderator. So I'll need someone that, like, delay the comments and things like that, not by much, but just long enough to where if somebody's putting up some derogatory stuff or some bad pictures, the person will have time to stop it from being shown, so I don't get booted off of YouTube. Because people do that, apparently. That was the reason, one of the reasons in the email that I got from YouTube, that's what they were saying. It's to, a lot of times memberships, you can allow your subscribers to show their loyalty, and at the same time keep them protected from that type of stuff happening. So it sounded good at the time, but it didn't feel good. Something felt off. And then after a few comments from other people that I've spoken to, in the comments, and I've read a lot of the comments, I kind of feel the same way. I feel a little dirty, feel like I'm doing it for the money. And just so you know, it's not a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I think it turned more people off than I could have, you know what I'm trying to say. I would have probably gotten more people without doing the membership, watching my videos, and possibly even giving super thanks that would add up to be more than the memberships. So the membership thing is, I think it would be good, like if you had a gaming channel, because I thought about that. I was like, well, dang, because one of the options of the benefits to having a membership is you can play video games with your subscribers or your members. So that's one of the cool things. So if you had a gaming channel, it'd be worth it. Or if you had, a podcast or something like that, maybe, or whatever. But anyway, I don't think it fits my niche or my people, Let's face it. The people that are interested in my channel probably ain't interested in a YouTube membership for any reason, or any memberships that's outside of the things that they necessarily need. Which I was the same way, to be honest with you. I've never been a member to anybody's YouTube channel, so I don't know why I would even think that someone else would want to do that, which obviously I'm not talking about the 86 people who did become members. I really appreciate that. I was shocked, actually. But I hadn't even seen nobody use the emojis, and that's really what I did it for. But anyway, I just wanted to put this out there. I have no idea what the name of this video is going to be. I am just grateful to be out of the dang house and it ain't raining. Anyway, y'all hit me up in the comments. I'm sure that I'll get some flack from people who did sign up, and I plan to do something special for you guys, so just hang tight. I hadn't figured out what to do. I'm wanting to get some t-shirts made, and maybe I just send all you guys a t-shirt. Might cost me a pretty penny, but sometimes mistakes cost. But for now, I'm out.